Welcome to the East Bank Sports Show, proudly brought to you by the Fanatical Elves, a member of the Fans First Sports Network. Broadcasting live from the vibrant East Bank of the Flats in Cleveland, Ohio. Join us as we delve into the heart of Cleveland sports. It's your hosts, Noah and Matt.
Welcome into the East Bank Sports Show, back with another Monday episode of our show. Hopefully you're tuning in, listening to us on your way home from your commute, because we are starting this live early, about 4:50, so maybe some of you guys are driving, listening to us. If you saw, the live that went on maybe like 2-3 minutes ago, we had some technical difficulties, so we took it from the top, so we had a good recording to go. First, I want to show you guys some Monday motivation so me and Matt can talk about it. I won't play the whole thing because there isn't audio for the audio listeners. That was Nick Chubb squatting 540 pounds 8 months after complete knee surgery. Matt, I have been talking really way too much. How's your day going, man?
It's not bad. It's been a pretty good day. How's yours been?
Not bad. Busy, and technical difficulties has been the name of the game lately, but I am glad to be back on, and I'm glad to be doing our show. Matt, we got a short one kind of put up together. There's not a lot going on in the world of sports. Little things like Nick Chubb squatting weight, which is big things to us as fans, but there's only so much you could say about it. But there is one thing going on right now that I think is very exciting for the both of us as Cleveland sports fans, and that, my friend, is the MLB Draft. And that is our main topic today. That is basically our only topic today. We are in the dog days of the NFL. Nothing going on quite yet. We're like a week away. Cavs, it's been quite well. We'll talk about the Cavs towards the end of the episode. But let's go ahead. Let's get into it. I want to break down each of the picks we had in the first round with our comp picks and everything on the first night of the MLB Draft. Matt, let's talk my guy, Travis. Go ahead. Break him down for us.
I mean, I know you were excited to see his name come across the board. I think all around everybody kind of agrees it was the right choice. Everybody's heard a lot about him coming up to the draft, so I'll go into him a little bit here. He's got a solid power bat. One thing I really love about him is he played cricket growing up, and I just love the fact that he was a phenomenal athlete there, made the transition to baseball and was still a phenomenal athlete. I think you look at some of the top athletes across any league, and you have multi-sport athletes that were great at all of them. So I think that's something that kind of excites me. He looks really solid all around. Another thing I found really interesting about him is he won the MVP of the Cape Cod Baseball League. It's like a really prestigious, league for up-and-coming high school and college-age kids to go play in. Some other people that have done that are A.J. Pollock and Matt Shaw, if you know those names. Some really solid ball players. Really, the only holes I saw in his game is he has a mediocre arm. It's nothing crazy that might limit him to staying at second base. But I love the opportunity. It might open up to move Himmy to shortstop. I love that idea.
Yeah, I do too. That was kind of my first thought process when I saw it, was to move Himmy to shortstop, because we've had issues there forever, and we all know what Andres Jimenez is for this team. And let Benzana play at second. When do you think he'll get called up, Matt?
I don't know. I'm a little torn, to be honest. I mean, I could definitely – obviously, he's going to start out in the minors. I don't need to say that. But if he tears it up in the minors the way he was in college ball, I could see him making an impact, later this year come playoff time maybe. If not, he'll definitely be here next year. I could see it. I really could.
I'm ecstatic about this pick, right? And, the next question in our tier list and talking about this topic is, was it a good pick? And you can give me your breakdown in a second, but even I think it's not going to be until like next year at the very, very earliest. Like, I think there's still going to be time here. I don't think they're going to rush it, but hey, if he's going to contribute to our playoff run, I'm here for it. Continue on, Matt.
I mean, overall, like you kind of just hinted at, the next thing is he's he's got to be the right pick. I wouldn't have been mad if we went with Jack Caglione out of Florida. He's a stud. I get why we didn't. I get why we went with Travis. Overall, it's the right pick to make 100%.
I'm with you. So I'm going to break into our next pick in order, which was Braylon Doughty, right-handed pitcher, Caprile High School in California. His strengths, he has a fastball in the mid-90s already as a high schooler, a great feel for the spin of the ball, and he has 2 great breaking pitches. He's developing a changeup. He's got some tools in the bag, right? The weaknesses, he's very raw, as most high school prospects are, and he's small for, typical size. I believe he's about 6'1", 2 and some change. But there was a lot of hype around this guy come his last summer ball season, which kind of shot him up to where he's at now and where he got drafted, which is like technically the first round, but it was the comp picks after the first round. Really happy with seeing him come in. I don't think he's going to be a guy that we're going to see for a while. My guess was 2027. I think this is a full-blown developmental prospect. With that being said, though, if he comes in, signs the contract, I'm feeling really good about it. I think it's a good pick. His value is higher than where we took him, so we're going to have to pay more than what we would have typically at that price. So he was above slot at that level. But, with Benzana going potentially under slot because Condon was technically the number 1 slot player in the draft, I think this is very exciting. We saved some money on the front end and still got who I think is the best prospect out of all the guys that were in the top 10 of the draft and move forward and get a pitcher, which, I'm not saying we need a pitcher. We don't absolutely need a pitcher. Well, we do, but need a pitcher in the minors. But, we're so good at developing these young arms. Really excited to see him. Matt, what were your thoughts about this pick quickly?
My big concern is he's a high school kid that's committed to play college ball at Iowa.
Was it Iowa? I thought it was Oklahoma State.
Was it? I thought I saw he was going to play for the Hawkeyes. I could be wrong.
Regardless.
He could opt to not sign a contract with us and go play college ball. I would be very, very shocked, but it is like a slight possibility that he might do that. And hey, who knows with NIL?
Yeah, 100%. Matt, let's go in. We got Jacob Cozart, the catcher out of NC State. He's the last prospect we're going to break down here, but I'm going to let you start it off. We broke this one up, so I have half of it. He has half of it, but I'm ready to hear what your thoughts are on this guy.
So, I mean, his real strengths, he's an elite defender. He's flawless behind the plate. He frames pitches like nobody else. I mean, he is a stud catcher in terms of, catching the baseball. On the other side, at the plate, he draws a lot of walks. He's got solid pop to his bat. It's not like he's a top home run hitter, but I think he had like 20. Like, he's not bad.
I think it was 21, 20, something like that. You're right.
Really, his big weaknesses are he's a little bit on the slow side. It's a catcher. It doesn't matter. The one that does kind of concern me is his arm isn't super strong. Might not be able to throw a lot of guys out at second. That is kind of concerning to me. I like that in a catcher. And then the other big thing that's concerning is he had 48 strikeouts last year. He likes to expand the zone a bit, but he also draws a lot of walks. I'll be willing to take that trade-off. I think the biggest key with him really is the fact that he's developed every year and he's improved every year at college. And then you're going to put him under one of the better catchers of our generation as his manager, even though, he'll probably be in the minors for a while. Vogt's a former catcher. He'll be able to develop a catcher if he wants to, and clearly he likes this kid.
Yeah, so my kind of thought process too, just to bounce off of that, and then we'll go into the when will he get called up? Was it a good pick? I think we've needed a true top tier, however you want to describe him, one of those higher level prospect catchers to get into the farm system to hopefully develop and be, the number one, number two guy in a mix with Bo, as opposed to, rotating David Fry and Austin Hedges in there like we are right now. I'm really happy with the pick. Some of his concerns are the same concerns I have with my boy Bo right now. He does strike out a lot, as you said. Overall, I do think this is a great pick. There's some flaws. We needed another true catcher in the farm system, and I love this selection, especially being in that comp pick range. Furthermore, real quick, I want to say that I do think he'll get called up probably 26, 27. I have it, early side 26, late side 27. I think there's still some development to be had there, of course. I don't think he's going to be one of these guys that shoot straight to the majors like Benzana has a chance to, for example. But I am really excited to see him. I'm really excited to see where these guys get placed, if they're going to go high A, low A, whatever, and go from there about maybe getting some more Lake County tickets, because I've been going to a few of those games since it's only 20 minutes up the road for me now. Matt, what else are you thinking? Real quick, overall grade of the Guardians' first day of the draft. I know I'm shooting this off the hip, but give me a grade, letter grade. Go for it.
So I'm not gonna give us anything in the A range because we had the number one overall pick. It's hard to screw that up. I am gonna give us a B plus though, because I think our other two picks were really solid picks. As long as the pitcher signs, I think we killed it.
I'm going to give us an A. I am very happy with this draft. I think there was a lot of ways you could overthink and not go with who made the most sense for the Guardians at number one, which to me was Benzana. Through everything we've seen, he's the fiery personality that this team has been needing for a while. And I'm really excited to see him in the minors, hopefully down the street in Lake County, so that way I can watch him live. I give it an A. I think, through the first round, we got great value, quality players in each of our first three picks, and I'm really happy with it thus far. I am excited. Matt, I'm going to cut us to commercial break. When we come back, we got a little mini topic because something major happened today in the world of sports that I think we should talk about, and then we'll wrap this up. We're doing a quick episode here today on Monday. We're kind of in the mud, like I said, of not having a whole lot to talk about, but we wanted to talk some draft, well, you'll see after this commercial break. We'll be right back with the East Bank Sports Show. Talk to you in a minute. And we're back with the East Bank Sports Show. I hope you enjoyed the commercials. I hope you enjoyed everything that you have heard thus far. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube. Helps us grow a ton. Make sure you follow the Fanatical Elves, Fans First Sports Network, the networks we are a part of. Everywhere really helps us grow this brand and grow this great network that we are all a part of here. Matt, we have something that I think is going to be, I just looked at my watch, the rest of my day today. What are you looking most forward to in NCAA College Football 25? Because the game released about an hour ago. If you pre-ordered and have the early pre-order, which I did, I'm letting it download in the background while we talk, hence why I'm using my hotspot and why I was having some connection issues a little bit earlier. Let's talk about it, Matt. What are you looking forward to in this game the most?
So I think the two things I got to go with two here is obviously seeing Ohio State win a championship probably tonight because I'm not getting off the game. And then immediately after that, I'm jumping into my Middle Tennessee State rebuild. And I can't wait.
I don't even know if this guy pays attention to my shows or anything, but made a homie back on one of my cruises when I was younger. Shout out Jay Lee. He went to Middle Tennessee State. He's a rapper. Great guy. Love that guy. If for some reason he sees this, shout out you, man. It's been a while, but made me think of that. The thing I'm looking forward to the most is, first of all, being a rags to riches quarterback for some MAC school who enters the transfer portal after he jumps his overall up. I'm a big career guy. And, the fact that you can import your career players into Madden after your career in NCAA, definitely going to have a couple Noah Olsons ready to go for some careers in Madden after their careers in NCAA Football 25. Even if I get to Madden, I bought Madden, but who knows when I'll actually open that game up. The most exciting thing for me, though, and I alluded to this on the Office episode of the East Bank Sports Show this past Wednesday with John and Eric is shout out Lake Puddle, who has been on the show a few times. Really appreciate him. He's a great dude. Is going to skin all of the Worcester Scots, my alma mater, into the game, all of the stuff when Team Builder comes out on Friday. So I'm excited to take the Worcester Scots from a Conference USA MAC nobody to a college football powerhouse, because they are, in fact, the last team to not lose to the Ohio State Buckeyes as an Ohio State football team. Now, they tied them, but they didn't lose. So I'm just hanging my hat on that and ready to build them into a powerhouse. What else, Matt? What else are you looking forward to? I know there's a lot going on with this game. I know I'm holding you from taking it, but we got some time, so let's talk about the game some more. I'm ecstatic right now.
I mean, I'm just really excited. Like, there's so much I want to do. I'm not even going to touch the Ultimate Team part of that. Don't even plan on opening it. I'm not giving EA $1 more of my money. It's Road to Glory and Dynasty, whole way.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I'm also excited. I was talking to Eric for the Office episodes of the East Bank Sports Show, and we were talking about, like him coming over just to play it like we're in high school again. And, when you sit down and do the tournaments with your buddies or whatever in the dorm, when you're in college as well, I'm just really excited to sit down and play this game with a lot of people, hook it up to my big Sony in the living room with my PlayStation and have a ball. And yes, I'm throwing a shot right now because I know you're an Xbox guy, Matt. So unfortunately, we will not be playing together, but I will be enjoying most of the other people in our friend groups on PlayStation.
I don't know what to say, man. I mean, I guess I'm just the only one out of the friend group that has 2 brain cells to rub together.
Nah, here we go. I want to shout out Tim Lyons for being in the comments, as he always is. We've been chatting it up on the side too as well. Shout out him, even though he's a Bengals fan. I always appreciate him turning in and listening to our show. Matt, let's move it into final thoughts and takes with this relatively short episode of the East Bank Sports Show in the middle of All-Star break in the MLB Draft. Browns doing nothing. Cavs asleep at the wheel in the middle of free agency and trades and all of that. Final thoughts and takes, Matt. What are your final thoughts and takes in terms of Cleveland sports for this week?
I can't wait to buy my Jacob Cozart jersey once he becomes our everyday catcher and takes it over.
I knew it was going to be something about
the
this. As
horrible
soon as
catcher we have today.
Here we go. I actually want to say that Bo Naylor seems to be the only player that has given a damn on the Guardians up until the All-Star break, because he was the only one hitting at things at times when we've been losing a little bit. This isn't my final thought and take. I know people are nervous about the Guardians. I think this All-Star break will be a great reset for us to get back on the same page. We're 30-11 at home, and we have 40 out of our 60-some games left are at home. So I'm not worried about the Guardians sliding off the cracker. I think we will be perfectly fine. My final thought and take I wanted to bring up, however, is about my boy Darius Garland coming out today saying that they're just rumors about him wanting to be traded. So as much as we all want to continue to act and pretend that, we might trade this big 4 or whatever you want to call it, the core 4, the more we talk, the more it just seems like that's not going to be the case. And we're going to keep all 4 of these players on the roster and run it back and see what happens with some new coaching. Matt, what do you think about that? I know this was news to you right before we got on that you didn't see running all your errands and stuff like that today. But I wanted to hear what you thought in terms of, this is Darius Garland himself saying this, by the way. This isn't like his agent telling a beat reporter that Darius Garland said, and I quote, "Those are just rumors." Go ahead, man.
I mean, I think it's safe to say we're both big Cleveland guys, and I love a dude saying, yeah, that's where I want to be. I want to be in Cleveland. I always hate the rep Cleveland gets as like a lame, ugly, boring city. I love Cleveland. And the fact that, the pro athletes are starting to see that in the past 5 years have kind of warmed up to our city, it feels like. I mean, I just love to see it, and it always makes me happy to see things like that where players doubles down on, yeah, I'm here, I'm in Cleveland, I love it.
It reminds me of that tweet that came out when Donovan Mitchell signed his extension. I retweeted it. It went viral in terms of the Cleveland circles. Myles Garrett staying, Jose Ramirez staying, and now Donovan Mitchell on top of these guys that we've drafted and brought in and that kind of thing, all deciding to stay in Cleveland. Love breaking the stigma of Cleveland sports being rough. This is the best time in Cleveland sports. Now, we haven't won a championship yet, but we're watching all three of our teams be competitive as all hell, making it to the playoffs. In terms of a front to back, all three teams, and I mean the Monsters too, if you want to count them, they were in the conference finals. It's just a good time to be a Cleveland fan, and it's a good time to sit here and be able to talk Cleveland sports with one of my best friends, Matt. Matt, you got anything else you want to cover before we wrap up this episode? Okay. Thank you for tuning in to the East Bank Sports Show. Oh, you do have something. Go ahead. I'm ready.
I just want to throw a quick shout out there. About an hour before we started our show, Noah, I don't know if you saw it. Steve Kwan is leading off the All-Star game. That's awesome. Exciting news for him. And good luck tonight to Jose in the home run derby. I don't really have much faith. I hate to admit it. I would love it if he pulled off the underdog upset. But, just good luck. Go have some fun, man.
Yeah, 100%. And with that being said, make sure you hit the like, the comment, the subscribe. Make sure you download this if you're listening on this via podcast. It really helps us grow. Like I've said before, our brand here. Make sure you follow the East Bank Sports Show on Instagram as well as on YouTube. Make sure you follow all the Fanatical Elves. Check out everybody else's shows. We got Lou, we got Jarrell, we have Steve, we have a bunch of great content going out in terms of our network here in the Fanatical Elves, a subsidiary of Fans First Sports Network. We really appreciate your time here on this quick on your way home episode of the East Bank Sports Show. And until next time, Cleveland, and when I see you on Wednesday for the Office Edition with John and Eric, I just want to say, have a great week, and until next time.